Welcome in, y'all. Timeshare Clarence. It's December 10th, 2024. Definitely not recording this because I want to, more so because I have to. And it's been a rough year. I actually recorded more than I have in the past, so that's good. But also haven't really accomplished what I wanted to accomplish this year, even though I accomplished a lot more on a personal level than I have, I guess, any other year. So why am I saying I really don't want to record? Just because I'm not where I want to be. I'm so far from where I want to be. And it's been a humbling year just because at times where I really buckled down, I made good progress. So knowing how far I am from where I need to be, the only person I can blame is myself because I see the results when I grind. Now, my number one priority is my health, physically, mentally, spiritually, overall well-being. And I think I made some progress. I've done some things, took some steps towards getting to where I want to be. But I just know I haven't really pushed myself. And you can see that if you look at the videos throughout the year. But here we are towards the end of the year, and I'm making this little kind of final push. And just this month, I know the progress I'm gonna make, the progress I've already made, despite not having ideal circumstances. So I know, yeah, there's no excuse. And I've allowed myself to be stagnant. I've allowed myself to make excuses. I've allowed myself to kind of relax at times. And I'm not even really beating myself up over it. I'm just being real about it. Uh, what have I learned? This year is really, life's gonna be whatever I make it. I probably would have recorded earlier. It probably wouldn't have been exactly whatever this turns out to be because I just kind of had it on my heart to turn on this phone and start recording. I was watching Jamie Foxx latest stand up. I don't even really think it was particularly that funny, but it just hit me because I feel what he went through as far as just that realization of having a second chance. And I don't gotta have a stroke. I don't gotta have a near-death experience, even though I have in the past, not necessarily from an injury or illness standpoint, just being in situations where I know my life could have been over, car accidents, having guns held to my head, so on and so forth. And just not taking it for granted. I'm just getting my voice back because I had laryngitis. So I got my little tea. I haven't been to work because, man, it pissed me off when people come to work sick. Like, I ain't trying to get nobody else sick. It is what it is. So hopefully I can go back to work soon. I felt like today been a pretty good day. And if tomorrow is a little bit better, then I will go back to work on Thursday. But just trying to be responsible because, I'll be a hypocrite. I'll be mad as hell. I'll see some of my coworkers in there coughing and sneezing and shit. And I'll be like, man, keep your ass at home. Like, we got a certain amount of points. We got to leave. We got all of this stuff. Like, it's just not only irresponsible, I feel like it's disrespectful to come and jeopardize somebody else's health and well-being because you want to come to work when you fucking sick. Anyway, that little side rant over. Man, what I realized this year more than anything is I got a lot of responsibility. I got a lot of things that I need to stop making excuses and get done. I need to build my business. I need to get in the house. I need to put the foundation in place to start allowing my children to pursue their interests and their dreams. I need to create the financial freedom and flexibility to do the things that I need to do for myself and my family. Most of all, I need to prioritize health and happiness, not just going through day by day, week by week, month by month, just kind of trying to survive, but actually doing stuff to have an impact. I talk a lot about memories and investing in creating memories, and that's real. Like this whole timeshare clearance thing, I think is probably the most fitting moniker I've had in my life. I had started kind of writing down some things as far as stages throughout my life, different names, nicknames and things, and how it applied, where it came from. So and I'll probably put that out at some point. It's called What's in a Name. And, going from, Lil Clarence to CY, Senile, Juice, CJ, Clarence. Anyway, so this timeshare clearance thing is something that I made up myself because it's so deep to me to really look at the benefit of having time. Because I don't have no more time with my grandfather. I don't have no more time with my dad. I don't have no more time with my grandma. And even though I still have one grandma that's living, like the reality is I don't really have more quality time with her. Yeah, it's time that I may be around her, but it's not the same. But I appreciate all the time we had. I appreciate all the times that I took my grandma, Teresa, to go out to eat and just talk. And then the stories I heard about her telling other people about the things that we did. I appreciate the time that I had with my grandma, May, going on walks with her in the morning, listening to her talk about her life, talk about her experiences with my grandfather, talk about, my experiences. And it wasn't even like a lot of times she would offer me advice, but like I was thinking about having a safe space. And the reality is, it's not too many people that I could really say I've ever felt like I had a safe space. It's actually very, very few people. So I didn't put a lot of thought into it, but my grandma, Maybell, was one of those people. Like I could talk to my grandma and I didn't ever have to worry about, hearing something negative she said about, something I did or whatever from somebody else. She would give me her opinion. She'd give me her advice. She told me a lot of stuff that I didn't understand. And just being real, like sometimes I didn't feel like she gave me the best advice, not because I felt like it was bad advice, but just because I felt like it was the best advice she had to offer, but it was still coming from a limited amount of experience. So, and that's not a knock, because I feel like that's our responsibility to kind of grow and progress generation to generation. So what she told me was the best best advice that she had to offer, which is kind of crazy because I was talking to my sister about this recently. Like, I remember a lot of stuff my dad told me. I remember a lot of stuff my grandfather told me. But when it comes from like the women in my family, it's like maybe one or two things from each one that I really have to hold on to or that had an impact. So, and that's not a knock on the women because they played their part, but just being a man, like a woman can't really teach you how to be a man. So that conversation was kind of just talking about, my nephews and my sister influence on them. Like a man need a man, and what a man is gonna contribute and influence in the lives of the younger generation is gonna be more impactful than women. And I ain't, again, not saying women don't play a role in whatever they do is not important, but I needed the men in my life to step up. And for the most part, I'm gonna say I felt like they did the best that they could with what they had to work with, which is why I feel a tremendous responsibility to do more and to be better so that I can offer more to my son, my nephews, the younger men in my family. With all of that being said, like I didn't really turn this on with a goal, more so than just kind of recap the year, highlight some of the things that stood out, some of the areas where I felt like I made progress, some of the areas where I felt like I need to make more progress and focus a little bit more on going into next year without putting this off, because sometimes I just feel like, man, what's the value of somebody who haven't really accomplished much trying to basically record their experience? But the reality is I do believe I will accomplish a lot. So the value is in showing that, it's not only a benefit of hearing from somebody after they accomplish everything, but you got to understand the journey. And this is part of that. So 41, I got 10 days until I'm 42. And I will say I really wasn't intentional. I wasn't mindful. I wasn't focused on creating or developing any type of lifestyle, any type of situation. I just was focused on survival for the vast majority of my life. So I would say this really has only been something for the last maybe 3 or 4 years. And even saying that, it was a thought maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but it hasn't been a focus or a priority until this year. So going forward, I really know that whatever happens will be based off what I do going forward, with the benefit of all the experience I have from my past. So that's the military, that's relationships, family relationships, romantic relationships, failed marriages, school, friendships, all these different things. And what the value has been for me to develop personally to the person that I am and continue to develop to the person that I desire to be. So the number one thing has always been faith. I got a tremendous amount of faith in God, and in turn, a tremendous amount of faith in myself, because I believe I can accomplish anything as long as I keep that foundation of, putting God first. The first thing I try to do is get up in the morning and start with gratitude, with my prayers, and just have that spirit of gratitude more than anything. So I know that's a big part of it: discipline, consistency, all these things I talk about over and over. So this year, and even just recently, when I think about the experiences that I had, actually starting to travel a little bit more, starting to invest more in relationships. Speaking of women, I mentioned my grandmas, but I saw my mom, definitely not enough. I was planning on going to see her, but finance is not the way it needs to be for me to be able to justify it right now. So I got to make that a priority, spend more time with mom. I want to do some things with her, my sister. But mentioning those people, just kind of like the people I feel safe with. I do feel like at this point, even though me and my mom don't always see eye to eye, I probably could talk to my mom about everything. I don't necessarily choose to, and maybe that'll change over time, who knows. But at this point, after my grandfather passed, I feel like it's one person that's always been that person for me. That's my sister, Crystal. I do have a friendship with somebody that I met at my job, my guy Brent. I feel like that's a real friend. That's a safe space. We talk about a lot of stuff, and I don't, at least up until this point, I haven't had any reason to really feel like it's something I can't talk to him about or that is gonna be used against me. Again, it's not too many people I could say that about. So just really trying to find more people like that. I read a book probably about 5 years ago, Tribes. So I probably need to read it again, but it is basically about finding your people. So I know my sister is one of the people that's in my tribe. I'm kind of trying to figure out and I want my brother Devin to be, but again, we probably got some stuff to work on both sides in order for that to be the case. I think Brent will be. A lot of other people that I kind of hope would be have kind of revealed that they're not really those people. And in some situations, I guess, I'm probably not a person that, they would feel like they would want to be, in a tribe or they circle. So anyway, I've been through a lot of ups and downs. Um, and just it's another year. It's no excuses. Uh, life is life. It's gonna keep lifing, and I gotta keep just getting through it, but using it to my advantage. Not making excuses. I do need to put the pieces in place that I need to in order to allow me to accomplish what I need to accomplish as an individual. And I think more than anything, the takeaway I have from this year is stop waiting on the other people to kind of fall in place in my life to start pursuing the things that I want to pursue, and just pursue those things. And as the people fall in place, just accept it, but don't wait on the people. Like, take the responsibility on myself to start doing these things. And that's really the biggest thing. I just came back from St. Louis twice for Micah's birthday and Sophia's birthday. I was glad that they got to kind of enjoy themselves. It's a priority for me to be there for my kids for their birthdays, because senior wasn't really ever there for me for mine. And up until this point, that's been enough, but I really wanted to be more, not to just be there, but to provide them with amazing experiences. So hopefully next year I'll be able to do more of that. And not only for my kids, but for the rest of my family. I do want to travel more, get to reestablish and reinvest and rebuild the relationships with my family, because we always talk about it, but it's never really acted on. So not put it on nobody else to come see me, but take the time out and make the effort to reach out to my different family members that we don't necessarily have a closer relationship, start going to spend time with people. And that's going to take a lot, because it is only so much time. So basically maximize the time that I have, focus on me while I'm out here by myself, actually appreciate the fact that I am out here by myself and I can do whatever I need to do without having to take somebody else into consideration while I'm here. That may sound selfish, but it's really not, because I gotta get where I need to be, and just take advantage of all the opportunities I have to invest in myself. So I want to learn Spanish. I'm gonna get in shape. So back up. I'm gonna learn Spanish. I'm gonna get in shape. I'm gonna get my finances in order. I'm gonna get in the house. Gonna just start building the life that I want to have. And as the people fall in place, they fall in place. Ultimately, even if it's just me, I'll be able to bring the people around and to go around the people that I want to go around once I accomplish what I want to accomplish. But more than anything, the same way I desire for to have kind of more people to be a safe space for me, just make sure that I'm that safe space for people. If people reach out to me, if people want to share with me, if people ask for my advice, guidance, whatever, that's something that always I'm there for. That I will provide that type of benefit for those people, that they know that I'm gonna give them my honest opinion, the best advice I can offer. I'm never gonna go behind their back, talk about them, disrespect them, nothing like that. And ultimately just continue to try to be the best person that I can. Made a lot of mistakes. I say I don't have a lot of regrets, but the more I think about it, it's certain things I do regret. So I still won't say I got a lot of regrets, but I got some regrets. And just make sure I don't repeat those things or put myself in a situation where I add to that list. I think that's the most important thing. Can't change the past, but definitely focus on the future, making sure that I don't repeat the mistakes that I made, that I don't do some of the things that I did in the past, contribute to having more regrets, more negative situations, more strained relationships, more losses. Now, that don't mean every relationship where, it's a separation is a loss, because everything not a loss. But for the ones that are, me knowing what I did and why I consider them a loss, and make sure that I don't put myself in that situation again. Just really taking everything in from where I can get it from, that makes sense, that's going to benefit me. And in turn, trying to do this so that these things are there for my kids more than anybody, but for anybody that it can help. So because I didn't really have a focus for this, I don't want to just ramble, but the things that are on my mind is really build some momentum, create some consistency, be accountable, and don't make no excuses. Just grind when it's time to grind and enjoy when it's time to enjoy. Work hard, play hard, keep God first. Always be genuine. Never expect more from people than they offer or promise. And even then, if they don't deliver, hey, just take it for what it is. Don't hold grudges. No animosity, no negative energy. Just accept what it is. When people show you who they are, believe it. And make sure that my standards are always a reflection of the person that I desire to be. And, you know, the people that accept that, cool. The people that don't, cool. But ultimately, focus on being the best person I can be, and hope that I set an example for the people around me to do the same. And most importantly, that I set the example for my kids to be the best people that they can be, and to be happy more than anything. They can define success however they want to. For me, success is gonna be when I'm in a situation where I don't worry about what it costs to do the things that I want to do for myself, for my family, for my friends, to really maximize the time that I have, however much that is. Hopefully, it's a lot of it, but no matter how much it is, to make the most of it. So with all of that being said, for anybody who is kind of following or keeping up, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time, Tom Clarence. Peace.